Again, we'd like to thank all of you for your feedback on the Wiz Live special tonight.
And please keep the responses coming. We hope that you enjoyed the show.
Well, the Wiz itself has deep cultural significance in its urbanized retelling of The Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz is a play that originally had an all-white cast. When The Wiz first hit the stage in the 1970s, it incorporated African-American culture into the play. Now, one Flint actor who is now playing the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz in the Flint Youth Theater took a moment today to tell us what seeing The Wiz live on NBC meant to him. It's a show he grew up with.
When I saw Diana Ross and Michael Jackson, Nipsey Russell and Ted Ross actually do The Wiz, I was just blown away. And for them to redo The Wiz live, I already got it taped because I'm going to be here, obviously, and I'm just so excited about that production.
LaTroy says that he is proud today to enjoy The Wiz and take part in The Wizard of Oz this weekend at the Flint Youth Theater. That's what he was practicing for there. He says things have changed since The Wiz first hit Broadway. He says it's 2015 and the color barrier that led to The Wiz's creation has, in his mind, been broken.
You walk on one every day, but do you ever really consider how the floor you're standing on is impacting your health?
A Flint-based entrepreneur has been thinking about it, and he's turning it into a successful business.
And that's the first thing people do when they get on the floor, is they just start bouncing.
That's because these aren't your normal hardwood floors. This is a patented sprung floor designed by Burton-based Ed O'Mara.
When you go down, it also catapults you back up.
Under this wood, Ed designed a unique spring system that works against gravity and with your feet. If you're thinking, this sounds a lot like a dance floor, well, you'd be right.
I started dancing when I was 40 and found that a lot of the studios that I danced in didn't have very effective floors.
See, his wife talked him into it. She was a professional with the Chicago Modern Dance Company. Ed's 40-year-old body ached after his dancing sessions, and he knew there had to be a better way. That was 20 years ago. Today, O'Mara Sprung Floors in Burton sells his unique patented design. And these springy floors are catching on.
And we have them all over the world: Australia, New Zealand, Japan, China, France, England.
And if you're a regular Fox 66 fan, there's a chance you've seen his floors somewhere before.
Yeah, that's our floor on So You Think You Can Dance.
And these floors have so many different applications. They've made them for countless different dance studios and a few different yoga studios and blue-collar workers, even the people working at the Chrysler factory. That's the next frontier for Ed's floors, anti-fatigue flooring. These are a few pictures of his floors at the Chrysler engine plant in Trenton.
They're saying that their feet don't hurt as much, their backs don't hurt as much. They have more energy at the end of the day.
Batteries Plus Bulbs in Burton installed his floors behind their cash registers.
Seems to make it a little easier on the knees and the lower back.
That would give me great satisfaction to see a lot more people enjoying their work day and enjoying their after work day because their bodies don't hurt as much as they used to.
That's Jennifer Prophet reporting there. And we may have eaten our fill of stuffing a week ago, but turkey and stuffing aren't the only things that go together. Tomorrow it's about stuffing a blue goose with Toys for Kids. The third annual fundraiser for Toys for Tots is happening tomorrow. Michigan State Police teaming up with Elga Credit Union to fill a state police cruiser with toys. And you can join the NBC 25 News team in giving this season at the Elga Credit Union off of Corunna and Linden all day.
And join us tomorrow morning on NBC 25 Today. Joel, Kristen, and Leslie will show you how a local middle school puts value on others in the area. NBC 25 Today starts at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Little quick sports update for you guys. Good evening, everybody. The Detroit Lions played last Thursday on Thanksgiving at 1. They're playing right now against the Green Bay Packers. Let's see how they're doing. They actually started this game pretty well, leading 20-14. Now into the fourth quarter, Detroit trying to hold off the Packers for their fourth straight victory, of course, on NBC 25 News at 11. In just a few minutes, we'll have an update for you guys. And speaking of NBC 25 News at 11, that starts right now.
Covering all of the Flint Bay region. This is NBC 25 News at 11.
Golfers are enjoying the warmer December weather.
But not everyone is happy with the lack of snow. Good evening, I'm Sadie Hughes. Many local businesses that rely on the snow are getting a slower start to the season.
NBC 25's Kyle Mitchell is live with our top story on the impact of no snow.
Hey, Dave and Sadie, yeah, definitely a lot different than last year, and that's making it a bit harder for some local businesses.
The slopes of Mount Holly are looking a little different this year, but the resort is hoping Mother Nature will cooperate soon.
It's an El Nino year. What does that mean? It means something different for every part of the country.
General Manager Mark Tibbett says the cold weather the last 2 years was a big help, but this year making snow has been a challenge.
We got started early, both of those years. One of them last year we opened on the 15th of November. Year before it was the 17th of November.
In 2014, the resort had almost all the ski runs open before December, but some businesses are cashing in on the warmer weather.
It's awesome for golf. I mean, a little cooler than I prefer.
Golfers took to the course at the Jewel in Grand Blanc.
A lot of traffic, especially for this time of year, and a lot of phone calls, people wanting to play this weekend.
While the course didn't expect the extra customers, they appreciate the business.
It helps the restaurant. You got people coming in, eating, as well as just the added, revenue with people coming in and golfing.
But Mount Holly isn't worried. The resort says as long as they're completely open by Christmas, they could still have a great year.
We've already tested the system. As you can see what's laying on the ground out here. We know we're ready to make snow.
And it could be a while before we see more snow. Temperatures are expected to warm up a little bit this weekend. Reporting live, Kyle Mitchell, NBC 25 News.
The temperature is beginning to drop and the clouds are breaking.
Ahmed mentioned earlier some fog will move in right behind all of it. Here he is with a breakdown of tomorrow morning's forecast.
Hey, Dave and Sadie, yeah, we're talking about that warm air really having an effect, actually. Here's the temperatures right now across the area. We're still sitting at 40 degrees in Flint, 37 degrees in Saginaw, and actually Frankenmuth, right where Kyle was at, that's at about 36 degrees, 38 through many, many places, which means actually the cloud cover is still nice and even, but it is beginning to break, especially off to the west and up towards near Oscoda. That means we're going to continue to drop. Now, our low tonight is going to be about 31 degrees, watching for the clearing skies because that's going to be part of the reason we cool down that far. That light breeze ends, and by tomorrow morning, we'll watch for the fog. Now, for tomorrow, we are looking at a morning with the fog continuing until about 10:30. Then it begins to break apart. Now, some places will see more sunshine than others before we get it to noon. We'll break that down in the forecast model coming up.
A Mid-Michigan broadcast veteran is being fondly remembered this evening.
Former NBC 25 news anchor Joanne Paul has passed away. Family members say Paul died after a brief illness. The wife and mother of three was most recently working as a host of a morning radio show in the Lansing area.
Funeral arrangements have not been announced. We pass along our condolences to Joanne's family and friends and the numerous Mid-Michigan journalists who worked alongside her through the decades.
A man accused of posting a threat on a social media site putting a school on high alert was in court this morning. Emmanuel Bowden was arrested in connection with the incident. He is believed to have posted a threat on the app Yik Yak, where users can post anonymous messages that are able to be seen by anyone within a certain radius. Following the threat, SVSU was on high alert. Today, Bowden waived his right to the preliminary hearing in district court. He will now head to trial in circuit court.
Michigan State Police are gearing up to crack down on drunk driving. They announced they're now a part of a multi-state enforcement project this weekend. Starting at midnight tonight, police will coordinate their efforts to keep highways and interstates safe. The drunk driving crackdown will go through Sunday night at midnight. Representative Gary Glenn of Midland introduces a bill today that would add 2 fire service representatives with extensive backgrounds in fire inspection and prevention to the State Construction Code Commission. Now, currently, only 1 member of the commission is a fire service representative. Representative Glenn says the bill would ensure professional background on fire inspection or when examining construction and building codes.
A family who lost everything in a fire now have a new place to call home. The Good Samaritan Network helped the Bennett family move into their new home in Mount Morris. The family lost everything in November after a fire due to a generator explosion. The Bennetts say they are very grateful for all the help they have received.
There's so many good people out there and everybody came together to help us, and pretty soon our house is going to be filled up and we're going to have our own amazing home.
The Bennett family even had a Christmas tree donated them to help them get into the holiday spirit.
The Bay City Electric Light and Power has now entered receivership. Some customers are still waiting on rebate checks they were promised before the vendor went bankrupt. Now, the company says it will be issuing checks as soon as the customers who need them are identified. Officials in Birch Run are working to bring more business into the city. Now they're looking at an economic plan already used in Frankenmuth to figure out the best way to use their hotel room tax.
And allowing Birch Run to have 75% of the taxes that are being collected by Saginaw County from the hotels so that Birch Run can promote its unique position for travelers and visitors.
The city will meet again in a month to find out how they can move forward with these plans.
Back to the Bricks is excited to announce a brand new event heading to Flint early next year. The Chrome and Ice Winter Car Show is coming to the Dort Federal Credit Union Event Center February 12th and the 13th. The car show will feature 7 different classes of exotic cars.
We want to have Michigan money stay in Michigan. So it brings all of these car enthusiasts out. It brings people out from the towns, and we can spend money in the towns, and we can help build Michigan communities up again.
The event will feature a beach party theme with live music and much more.
Well, tonight marked the 3rd year of a new tradition for NBC viewers. For the holidays, a stage play was adapted and performed on live television tonight. This time it was The Wiz. Televised plays are a concept that local actors say intrigues them as they move forward in their careers. Now, we spoke with members of Flint Youth Theater tonight about their thoughts on the evolving nature of these productions. The Wiz, which was adapted from The Wizard of Oz, inspired actors tonight that are preparing to present their original play this weekend. An actress playing Dorothy in Flint's Youth Theater's production says tonight's live show has her excited to see The Wiz.
It was like a modern day Wizard of Oz. It was just kind of unique and really, really exemplary, and they told me that I should see it.
We're really excited in the theater generally about this new trend that we're seeing, live broadcasts of theatrical productions. I just think it's wonderful to introduce new audiences, people who perhaps thought that live theater might not be for them.
And if you're interested in seeing a stage production, the stage production that inspired The Wiz, The Wizard of Oz, begins at the Flint Youth Theater this weekend. It's been nearly 3 weeks since terrorists attacked in Paris.
Tonight, police say they have 2 more people in custody. Coming up next, we'll show you what they're saying about one of the 2 men that they now have captured. And the entire cast of a Mid-Michigan play sent to the emergency room. We'll show you why when NBC 25 News at 11 comes back.
Plus, we'll be talking about the fog tomorrow morning, dense at times, but our main focus is still going to be on the gorgeous weekend that's in store for us. Saturday, we may even break 50. We're going to break down the warmth, the sunshine, and what's ahead for the next week of December when we come back.
NBC 25 News is sponsored in part by Gaines Jewelry, Flint's most trusted jeweler.
Attention all women over 18. If you don't have a facial exfoliating brush yet, we need your help, and you need ours. We're Hydroxytone, and we have a mission to set a world record by mailing out 1 million free Sonic Microderm facial brushes as quickly as possible. We're calling it the Million Brush Mailout, and we want to include you. This free brush is yours just for trying a risk-free trial of our anti-aging breakthrough, Hydroxytone. So call now and tell us where to send your trial and free facial brush. 1-800-905-6971. Exfoliating, softening, smoothing, renewing your skin for youthful radiance. This luxurious facial brush is top of the line, valued at $60. But call now and you can get it free. Again, we're trying to mail out 1 million free facial brushes as quickly as possible. So we need your help. Call immediately for your free facial brush and risk-free trial of Hydroxytone. 1-800-905-6971. 1-800-905-6971.
Turn your loving on and try something crazy good. I'm all about new hot stuff.
Introducing a burger for steak lovers, our new Montreal Steak Burger. It puts every other burger to shame for just $1.99. A juicy all-beef patty, piled high with Montreal seasoned steak. grilled onions, and topped with our zesty seasoned mayo. At just $1.99, it's twice the flavor for half the price. Checkers and Rallies.
Epic meals, epic deals.
Winter is back and it's cold outside. There is no better time than now to purchase a remote starter from ProStyle Auto and Truck Accessories. ProStyle carries all the accessories you'll want for your favorite vehicle. Protect your cargo from the snow and wind with a truck topper. Check out our selection of running boards and Nerf bars for an extra boost. We can also help customize any ride to fit anyone's specific needs. Get to the professionals at ProStyle Auto and Truck Accessories and be ready for winter this year. Located on South Center Road in Burton.
Watch Ellen, weekdays at 5 on NBC 25.
Now, your certified NBC 25 storm-ready forecast.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Ahmed Badji. Tomorrow morning, we've got some more fog going to roll on through. The good news is not as many slick spots tomorrow morning as there were this morning. There is still the chance. We're going to break that down right now. Here's what's going on. First, across our major cities, 39 in both Bay City and Owasso, 38 in Midland, Saginaw at 37, Flint the warmest at 40 degrees right now across the area. Now for tonight, here's the deal. We do cool on down, and I'm actually going a degree or two cooler than what a few of the forecast models are suggesting. The main reason is this. By the time we get to the morning, it's going to take until about 5 o'clock before the fog starts to really build in. That's my hope, and that's what it looks like. And that means we have a little extra time for the clearing cloud cover tonight to have an impact on the temperature. We lose the cloud cover, we lose the blanket that traps the heat. So if we dip that far, we have to watch for the fog in the morning to cause a few slick spots. It's just very isolated. So main thing, when you wake up in the morning, look at the temperature. You can do that best by tuning to NBC 25 today. Leslie will have that. But also, then check to see if you are in, obviously, an area with fog. If you are both, take care on the roadways. Now, 46 is going to be your high tomorrow. Morning fog, sunshine by noon. It breaks on through very quickly. Some places will have mostly sunny skies before then, but it is going to be kind of spotty across the area. Places that have the fog the longest will be in the thumb. 31 for the low tonight, mostly cloudy. And then as we get into tomorrow, the fog breaks away by noon, and then we've got mostly sunny skies, 43 for the high. Definitely very mild compared to where we're supposed to be. Now, as we get into the Tri-Cities and our western counties, 32 there, mostly cloudy. Clearing skies, that again is going to be an issue because the further we get towards freezing, the more of a difficulty it is for people in the morning heading off to work and off to school. It's Friday morning. Come on, we need an easy morning commute, right? But 46 for your high tomorrow, that is mild, no doubt about it. And our high for this time of year is now 38 degrees, and we're not going to be anywhere near that. That's our average high, where we're supposed to be. Northern counties are a little closer, but not quite. 28 for the low tonight. Clearing skies, a little bit of fog, but not as much. 42 for the high tomorrow, still far above where we're supposed to be. Other than that, by the time we get afternoon, it's a beautiful Friday. I cannot wait to just get outside. Now, on Futurecast, this is actually not cloud cover. I know it looks like it, but it's not. You'll notice the difference between the white texture over Canada in the Futurecast and the gray right here. This is the fog we'll be watching for. It dissolves quickly by noon, and the afternoon looks great. More is going to start to come on in right here as we get into Saturday morning. Same type of deal. Cooler air, a little bit of moisture left, and as we head on into Saturday night, that, well, it gives way to cool air once again. 29 degrees there for the low. More sunshine going into Saturday. There's a ton of warmth and more sun all next week, too. This is not normal for December.
But we'll take it.
Yeah, I know some people really like the warmth, but obviously some others really want the snow.
Yeah, you gotta have
40-degree
snow.
warmth here in Michigan.
I want some snow.
Oh, we'll try and bring some.
Thanks, Ahmed.
New details in the ongoing investigation into the shooting that left 14 dead yesterday. The FBI now saying the military-style rifles and handguns used in yesterday's mass shooting in California were legally purchased. Officials saying today the suspected gunman Syed Farouk bought the handguns while someone else bought the rifles. Now, the rifles were not listed among the models outlawed by California state law. Farouk and his wife were killed in a shootout with police. FBI officials and police also recovered thousands of rounds of ammunition and several pipe bombs from Farouk's home.
A historic day for our nation's military. Secretary of Defense Ash Carter announcing this afternoon that going forward, women in every branch of the military will be eligible for any job for which they are qualified. That includes combat roles. He says the move will make the military stronger.
They'll be allowed to drive tanks, fire mortars, and lead infantry soldiers into combat. They'll be able to serve as Army Rangers and Green Berets Navy SEALs, Marine Corps Infantry, Air Force parajumpers, and everything else that was previously open only to men.
Carter says commanders of all branches except for the Marines agreed with the decision. The directive will take effect in 30 days. And around the world we go tonight. Belgian police now saying they've arrested 2 new suspects they say were connected to last month's terrorist attacks in Paris. A Belgian broadcaster says one of the suspects is a 20-year-old Frenchman who has already tried to leave for Syria twice this year. Police arrested him as he tried to fly to Morocco. The other man is a 28-year-old Belgian. These 2 arrests bring the total number of those behind bars in connection with the attacks up to 8.
He's already served 5 years in prison for manslaughter. Now former Olympic track star Oscar Pistorius will likely head back to prison for murder. Pistorius was put on house arrest in October following his prison time, but a South African appeals court has now overturned his manslaughter charge and convicted him of murder. A sentencing date has not been set, but because he's already done time on manslaughter charges, he may get a lighter sentence than the minimum of 15 years. New from across the state tonight. Just less than 24 hours ago, the Broadway Theater in Mount Pleasant was filled with a cast practicing for the Christmas play. Now, after the dress rehearsal, more than 30 performers, volunteers, and parents went to the emergency room. The fire department rushed to the theater and discovered there were unsafe carbon monoxide levels.
Immediately started recording levels of carbon monoxide when we entered the front door. We got to 80 parts per million, which our policy indicates anything over 70, the building should be evacuated until.
Crews found the problem was coming from a faulty furnace that they quickly shut off. Now the theater board is holding an emergency meeting to talk about the play and whether or not the show will still go on this weekend.
Republican presidential candidate Marco Rubio plans to campaign in Michigan next week. The Florida senator has scheduled a late afternoon rally Wednesday at the Oakland County International Airport in Waterford Township. Michigan's presidential primary election is in March. Rubio last visited the state in August when he spoke to the Detroit Economic Club. It was supposed to be a typical chocolate birthday cake, but it turned out to be so much more. Lisa Aldridge went to a Meijer store in West Michigan last Saturday to pick out a birthday cake for her sister. At the time, the regular cake decorator was away, so a clerk decided to help the woman by scrawling "Happy Birthday Mandy" on the cake. It turns out that clerk has autism and the handwriting was anything but perfect. But instead of returning the cake, Aldridge took it home and posted a picture of it on Facebook and a message to remind people to always be kind.
Thought it was instantly something that I felt happy about. I get all these messages from families who struggle. It just breaks my heart to think about all the meanness that people have to endure because they're not just like everybody else.
The picture went viral with thousands of people from around the world sharing the photo and thanking Aldridge for her heartfelt messages of kindness. There's many theories about the motive behind yesterday's mass murders in California. Ahead, an FBI profiler takes a look at some of the evidence that could point to a bigger, deadlier attack.
And you'll need more than the force to pay for this calendar. Find out the out-of-this-world cost for this golden memento of the upcoming new Star Wars film. That's later on NBC 25 News at 11.
This year, it's time for a new perspective. It's time for Dr. Oz. It's time to make health cool again. The all-new Dr. Oz show. It's time. You're a whole different person. For you.
Watch Dr. Oz weekdays at 3 on NBC 25.
It's the perfect time to get the gift you've waited for all year. The CR-V with rear-view camera standard. Hurry in to the Happy Honda Day sales event, and you could get a great deal on the best-selling SUV in its class. Now at your Honda dealer.
Hi!
It's wonderful to see you. Wow, this looks wonderful.
I bet this is something wonderful.
Wonderful. To all of you, and the most wonderful time of year. Cheers.
For all the things for your holiday, Kroger.
Celebrate with Tyson boneless chicken breast, $1.99 a pound. And raspberries or blackberries are 4 for $5.
It's so peaceful up there.
Enjoy the freedom to go far, far away. Now get 0% APR for 75 months. Well-qualified returning lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2016 Cherokee Latitude front-wheel drive for $255 a month.
We continue learning new information about the mass shooting in California. Some experts are convinced the attackers had a much greater mission on their minds.
Jeff Abel shows us why some experts believe they were plotting a far deadlier attack.
This target for a terrorist attack doesn't make logical sense.
Dr. Tyrone Powers isn't convinced that the community center where 14 people were gunned down on Wednesday was the gunman's only target.
What he had set up, the weapons, the devices, the IEDs, this target doesn't make sense for all of that.
Powers is a former counterintelligence agent at the FBI who says the circumstances surrounding the attack point to a far broader target.
To have your family involved, to have the training to take place, to even know how to produce the IEDs, to take the opportunity and the chance of producing IEDs with a young baby in the house indicates that the target probably was a little bit different than a holiday party.
Experts say terrorist attacks are typically highly organized, but in this case, there are signs of disorganization. They question why the accused gunman left that party in San Bernardino after an argument, then drove in a registered vehicle all the way down to his home in nearby Redlands, and then drove right back to San Bernardino for the attack. Today, investigators admitted they've yet to determine the suspect's true intentions.
If you look at the amount of obvious pre-planning that went in, the amount of armaments that he had, the weapons and the ammunition, there was obviously a mission here. We know that. We do not know why.
This fuse was lit early.
Powers suspects an argument may have ignited this attack, but believes the gunman may have been planning a far more extensive one.
Constantly we have to remind ourselves is that these people are not crazy. They're not lunatics, because you can't counter a lunatic. They actually have a plan. They may very well be evil, but evil people can be very good at being evil.
I'm Jeff Abel reporting.
On Capitol Hill today, our team asked lawmakers, do they believe the government can keep us safe from terrorism?
I don't think that the government alone has a role in making you feel safe. I think all of us as citizens have a responsibility to our safety and to ensure that we are reporting issues that we see around our community.
There are indicators out there. Be aware of your surroundings and be involved. Don't depend solely on the government. The government has its role to play, but so do we as citizens.
And we'd like to know what you think. Do you think government can protect us from terrorism? Take part in our online poll by going to NBC25news.com.
Things are getting interesting down at Ford Field.
Unfortunately, because the Lions had a lead in this game. They're taking on Green Bay tonight at Ford Field. They have an update on that. Plus, the Flint Firebirds playing themselves against themselves in a video game. That's next in sports.
Watch Inside Edition, weeknights at 7:30 on NBC 25.
Problem water.
I'm on it.
Dude, don't do it yourself.
No?
No. Leave it to the experts. With a Culligan Whole House Water Softening System, you get better water and service you can actually count on.
Hey, Culligan, man.
Hey!
Oh, this is great.
Flint's Bishop Airport has the top 4 U.S. airlines: American, Delta, Southwest, and United. Flying jets to 8 cities that connect you around the globe. Flint, the smart way to fly.
Are you struggling to find the perfect gift this Christmas season? Make her heart dance with a gift certificate to Chaussee. Now through December 30th, receive 50% off all private dance packages and group lesson punch cards at Chaussee Ballroom and Latin Dance Studio.
I got what you want, party people. No other bag does late night like I do. Who's Who's hungry?
Got munchies? Crush your cravings with flavor-pounding wings and loaded fries. Late night at Checkers and Rallies.
Epic meals, epic deals.
Godwin's Furniture and Mattresses holiday sale is the best time to save this holiday season. Reclining sofas just $649. Full-size sleeper sofas $699. Sectionals $999. Save on Mid-Michigan's largest selection of recliners. Lazy Boy recliners just $269. Save on dining sets, TV carts, bookcases, chests, and beds. Serta Perfect Sleeper mattresses from $299. Plus enjoy 0% APR till 2018.
Watch E.T. weeknights at 7 on NBC 25.
Leave it to the experts. With a Culligan Whole House Water Softening System, you get better water and service you can actually count on.
Hey, Culligan man. Hey. Oh, this is great. I know.
Get a Culligan water softener for only $9.95 per month for the first 3 months. You are fab because you are
Fearless, fashionable,
flirtatious,
and brave.
Introducing Fab Life. It's all about making a life more fun and beautiful.
Weekdays at noon on NBC 25.
You're in the game with NBC 25 Sports.
Good evening, I'm Tom Eschen. Well, a month ago, right around today, it looked pretty bleak for the Detroit Lions. There were coaches let go, front office officials fired, 1-7. Well, after the bye week, it's been a different team, kind of like last year's team, really. Tonight, looking for a 4th straight victory. They're second over the Green Bay Packers, and they are late in the 4th quarter right now as we speak. But Green Bay just scored, making it 23-21 Detroit. Now, the Lions had a 17-0 lead at half, letting Green Bay creep back into this. So make sure to log on to NBC25news.com. We'll have an update later on tonight on Detroit and as well tomorrow morning on NBC 25 News today. We'll have all the highlights then. The Flint Firebirds and Saginaw Spirit play Game 5 of the I-75 Divide Cup tomorrow night at the Dordt Event Center. It's Teddy Bear Toss night, so that should be fun. And in anticipation of that, we decided to see what Flint was doing in the film room to get ready. But it's always good to break the tension with some fun. So instead of a game plan, we had them play a game. EA Sports NHL 16, Flint versus Flint. Here's how it went. The matchup is Matt Henderson and Alex Peters on the outside, Josh Wesley and Frank Velarde on the inside, and Velarde gets the first goal.
Nice.
Whoa, Frankie. Frankie scores for us. But it's not for his team.
My bad, Wes.
They say the game's pretty realistic, including the hits.
Oh, I'm done. There goes my knee.
Oh!
Spooky! Trying to kill Frank out here?
Oh.
That's so cheap.
Definitely plenty of competitiveness even in this game, even against their own guys.
Flint's winning a lot of draws tonight, boys.
It was close after 2. 3-2, Peters and Henderson, the guys on the outside with the lead.
I don't know, we have the shots there, so I guess we just need to bury the rebounds.
We got to score. Wes has got to start burying.
I don't know, Ned's been pretty solid for us, so we're just going to keep the same game plan and win the third, you know?
9-9 face-off. Got to be a little more disciplined here. Their power play isn't too hot, though.
You have to be more disciplined.
Don't have to worry.
You're the one taking all the penalties here.
Maybe. Oh, there we go.
Here we go, feature on Ned.
Look at that hair.
Comments on their team photos were pretty common.
Gotta get Peters a goal here.
And seconds later, the captain gets a goal for his fictional self.
Oh! Petey, yeah. Wow. Selfish.
Don't say that much.
Unhappy with that, Wesley picks a fight.
Oh. Are you okay? Oh, Sally too.
Big win. That's what I'm talking. Attaboy, Petey. Good try, boys.
Unfortunately for Velarde and Wesley, lose the fight and the game. It's Peters and Henderson the victory, but in the end, still a win for the Firebirds. And speaking of the Firebirds, they're actually in action tonight at Windsor, winning 4-3 in overtime. That guy on the right with the hair who won the pretend game, Matt Henderson, he scored the game-winning goal tonight. Obviously, the video game very key in the victory. As mentioned, up next, Spirit tomorrow night. Well, basketball has begun here in the Flint Bay region, not just for the Pistons and college teams, but high school girls started this week. The boys debut next week. With that in mind, Hometown Hoops will start too tomorrow night, right here on NBC 25. Here's a glimpse of what to expect.
That leaves you wide open right here. If you get it back,
automatic shot.
And of course, we're trying to go state championship, league championship. It's all out there to grab, and we really feel like we can be the team to get it.
So we'll go to Michigan State now. You're a Spartan, 2000 national champion. That's pretty cool to have in the studio.
It is actually, yeah.
That's pretty sweet. And he's going to be the reason they make the Final Four.
That's it, coach. We'll be back. And he's playing like that now.
Yeah, he went to all my games. He was the loudest too. Like I could hear him if I'm going. He'd say, "Come on, Dylan!" Like that's who I heard.
On April 15th, 2007, Dylan's life changed forever when his father lost his battle with cancer. What do you tell the kids when you're recruiting them? How do you get them to come to Monty?
I tell them that you're going to go into a program that has high expectations. We compete for championships.
Me and our other captains talk about it all the time. We talk about remembering that exact feeling in that moment, and we're not going to have that this year.
So there you go. From the Flint Bay region to the Michigan Wolverines, Michigan State Spartans, and Pistons, we have you covered tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on NBC 25. As you can see, a lot of fun there, you know. So we'll be doing all sorts of stuff in studio, out in the court. So make sure to tune in tomorrow night.
Yeah, everything basketball. Right. No, you just need to watch us because you are everywhere.
Everywhere, I guess. We're trying.
Now here's a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on NBC 25 today.
Closed captioning on NBC 25 is sponsored in part by Menards.
Turn your loving on and try something crazy good.
Introducing our new Montreal Steak Burger with Montreal Seasoned Steak, topped with our zesty seasoned mayo. At just $1.99, it's twice the flavor for half the price. Checkers and Rallies.
Epic meals, epic deals.
Good health is important. So is choosing the right Medicare coverage. McLaren Health Plan offers McLaren Advantage, a plan designed to help you get the most out of your Medicare coverage, with many factors to consider, like cost, medical and drug coverage, and access to your own doctors. McLaren can help you make a plan. Our huge network of providers means access to thousands of healthcare professionals across the state. Find a Medicare plan option that's right for you. McLaren Advantage, the Medicare plan to get healthy.
Give the gift of music this holiday season with musical gifts from Herder Music Center in Bay City. It's the gift they won't forget the day after Christmas. Herder Music Center has a large selection of Yamaha pianos and clavinovas, band instruments, guitars, drum sets, sheet music, and much more. Herder Music Center also performs affordable in-house repairs. Looking for a unique gift? Give the gift of music with weekly music lessons. Remember, the gift of music is a gift that lasts a lifetime. Merry Christmas from Herder Music Center, your family music store since 1903.
If you're watching this commercial, then you know Michigan winters can be tough. You need a vehicle that can stand up to anything. And the Ford F-150 was made for Michigan winters with a 5-star safety rating, no body rust, and great fuel economy.
During the Ford Holiday Sales Event, save over $10,000 off MSRP on an F-150.
Made in Michigan, made for Michigan. And at Midland Ford Lincoln, we think you'll like that.
Time is ticking. First, we found out 9 Michigan power plants would shut down due to old age and environmental laws. Now, new reports say in just 5 years, 25 Michigan generating units serving over 2 million people will have shut down. It takes 4 years to build plants to replace the electricity lost. We need to act now on a plan that puts Michigan first. If we don't act, D.C. will decide for us. Call your legislator now.
I got what you want, party people. No other bag does late night like I do. Who's hungry?
Got munchies? Crush your cravings with flavor-pounding wings and loaded fries. Late night at Checkers and Rallies.
Epic meals, epic deals.
Welcome back. Finally tonight, check out this Star Wars calendar made out of gold. A Japanese jeweler in a high-end shopping district in downtown Tokyo unveiled the Star Wars calendar made with 22 pounds of gold worth $800,000.
Wow, the Star Wars themed calendar was created to commemorate Star Wars The Force Awakens, which will be released later this month.
The jeweler also created Star Wars themed traditional golden Japanese currency medals and a smaller golden Star Wars calendar at a more affordable price of $120. And all the men I seem to work with, for the most part, love Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'd say at least a good 70% of them here, too.
I'm okay, but not as
I
big
don't
as
know
Ahmed
about
right
Tommy
there.
E. and Davo, but our
I didn't see it
producer or
until
director.
like a month ago.
Me too. I didn't see him until this year.
I may love Star Wars, but that's too rich for my blood. All right.
Wow.
Here's what we've got going on for the next 7 days. I don't know if I'll pay $800,000. Nah. Here's what we've got. 50 degrees for your high on Saturday. Sunshine all the way through. And we've got sun through next week as well. Cloud cover begins to slowly increase by Tuesday and Wednesday, but it's still just partly cloudy. It's very warm compared to where we're supposed to be. But the Lions, they are raising my blood pressure right now.
Good luck, Lions.
Late in the fourth.
Cross
so,
your fingers.
Yeah, make sure to tune in tomorrow morning. We'll have all the highlights.
They can pull this one out.
They can do it.
I think they might. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.
From Studio 6B in Rockefeller Center in the heart of New York City, it's The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Hey, 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 hey! Tonight join Jimmy and his guests, Mindy Kaling, Daisy Ridley, musical guest, Gwen Stefani, and featuring the legendary Roots Crew.
380, Luke.
Woo! And now, here he is, Jimmy!
Thank you very, very much. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to The Tonight Show. This is it. You guys, this is the show. Thank you for being here. I'm your host, Jimmy Fallon. You guys picked a great time to come here because the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree is finally lit. Or as New York cabbies put it, that's the biggest air freshener I've ever seen. Oh, my God. We got a big show tonight. Daisy Ridley from the new Star Wars movie is here tonight. Yeah, everyone's talking about her role, and in the movie she plays a character who tries to salvage massive wreckages, which explains why